Rain, and more rain. We have had our yearly rainfall total in half of a year.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have had a lot of rain. We had a slight little dry spell just a couple of weeks ago that things were starting to get a little dry. Well, that changed very quickly. And with that, Tess, phones are ringing. We do have lots of foliar disease things going on. I tell folks when they talk about what they want to grow in Kentucky, I said, you live in Kentucky, we have every insect, we have every disease, we have humidity. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in West Kentucky. So what I have seen a lot of so far is foliar diseases on soybeans. We have diagnosed several over the last couple of weeks, and wet, humid weather is a perfect environment for several things. And then we'll talk about at the end our upcoming virtual UK field days. So on our soybeans, a Septoria brown spot is caused by a fungus, very common disease of soybeans and in surrounding states, not just Kentucky, but the diseases generally can be easily found in fields that have been planted in soybeans in consecutive years. So we preach crop rotation here in West Kentucky and Kentucky for a lot of reasons, and disease pressure is definitely one of those. And this disease is always found in the lowest leaves first. And so it's a wet job this time of year, Tess, no matter if it's not raining, because the humidity and that layer in a canopy of soybeans there's not much wind going and moving down there. So it's a microclimate below and just favors disease. So
when you think about the middle of the field, when you think about that wetness and that, and then the humidity that builds.
Even the middle.
I was just thinking about the heat,
Yes, just a few rows in. I mean, once you get in and that's canopied over, the sunlight is lower. We've got lots of environmental clues that show us that this is coming and that what we look for. So when it rains, the spores of the fungus are splashed from soybean residue on the ground. So this is something that's left from the last year. We want that organic matter to break down from the corn crop to the bean crop to the wheat crop as we're bringing the next in to give nature time to break that residue and whatever it's harboring down. And the infection causes a small dark spots on soybeans. It's very common. We see it later, a lot of yellowing and some complete defoliation of those lower leaves. Most of the time it's late enough in the year that yield is not too bad affected, but sometimes we do have to think about managing that. And also there are several other leaf spot type diseases that if you see folks walking out in a soybean field this time of year, that's what they're scouting for. They're looking for these foliar diseases to see if fungicide application is needed. We try to delay that as much as possible, but sometimes we just miss those. And Tess, going along with that, I have 2 visits today to look at foliar-related disease of some kind on landscape plants. So we were talking with Dr. Bill Fountain earlier this week, who is an ornamental specialist out of Lexington. He's been around a long time and has seen a lot. And this epidemic that we have went through has given folks something that's very precious on one hand, but also can be counterproductive on the other, but they've had a lot of time. And they've had a lot of time in their landscapes. We talked about this last week, Tess, that where folks are out there and they're noticing stuff on their plants that they might not have had time to see before. And our samples that's coming to the lab and coming to Extension's offices is up like 75% from this time last year. So we are seeing a lot of things, and I don't think we have that much problems out there that we did not have the year before, but people are just seeing it like what we said last week. So if you are out seeing that, do not hesitate to call the Extension office. That's what we're here for. Like I said, we're going to be looking at 2 different species of trees with problems later on today. But something fun coming up, Tess. And
I like fun.
We used to look forward to those all-commodity field day at the UK in July.
Yes.
You remember those from when you were young? They put the big tent up. Well, over the years, attendance had declined at those, and we were just looking for new ways to meet those clientele, and they decided to split those into different, smaller, specialized field days. We had the beef bash. We had the horticulture day. We have the corn and soybean field day. We have the tobacco field day. So this year we have some extreme circumstances, but that information is nonetheless still important to producers. So our fine folks at the Grain and Forage Center of Excellence have put together 2 upcoming virtual field days. Their specialists have been working nonstop to figure out how to bring that field to our computers. So if you see somebody walking with a camera on their head, it's probably one of our fine specialists out there at the Research Center walking that is getting their presentations and their visual things ready for this field day. And the first one is on July the 21st, so it'll be here before we know it. It'll be the Corn and Soybean Virtual Field Day, specializing in crop and soil management. And it's from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So most of the time, those field days are like from 8 to noon or from 7 to noon, where we're driving wagons around and getting off and going to the field. So they cut those down so people's time is valuable since they're not traveling. A 4-hour day can be difficult, but a 2-hour worth of presentations is a little bit easier to swallow. So they're going to be talking about soybean management, late planting corn this year, especially on how that's going to affect on yield, impact of delayed planting tools for producers, cover crop rye. We've been using rye quite a bit for cover crops.
I saw a lot of people using that this year. That's become pretty popular, so that ought to be a good part of that whole thing.
It is, and it provides a little bit more nitrogen for that upcoming corn crop the next year, and that they've been doing some research on that. And of course, our economics of soybean management. Right now we are the line from profitability to loss in agriculture is the lowest that it's been in a long, long time.
Wow.
So folks we call it risk management tests because whatever you do in agriculture, there's a risk to it, from sowing the crop to planting the crop to spraying the crop, and understanding those strategies are very important. So Dr. Shockley will be presenting there, and some other presentations as well. And for our pesticide applicators and our certified crop advisors, there are CEUs available. You will sign up through the online thing. And if you are interested in registration information on that, it is on the Caldwell County Extension Facebook page. Basically, it's just a link you click to pre-register, and those close on the 20th. So what they did, they split all of this great information into 2 days, because normally we do have the 4 hours. So we're actually getting more information because they've added a second day on July the 28th. They will come back on integrated pest management from 8 to 10. So if you're interested in that day will be talking about corn diseases, what you're managing soybean cyst nematode populations. That's something we haven't heard much about in the last few years, is soybean cyst nematode, and is it causing an economic problem? We kind of, with our improved genetics of soybeans, we have not had as much problems, but they're still out there. And weed control and pre-harvest chores for a good post-harvest management with Dr. McNeil. So if you're interested in that, that is actually from 7 to 9 because it's on Central Time Zone. So we will be, it is 8 to 10, I'm sorry. We deal with this Lexington time zone and the Princeton time zone so much in our meetings that you have to look at it real close. But that is 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock Central Time. And again, if you're interested and cannot find that registration, it will be on Zoom. We can point you in the right direction for that. It is on my Facebook page, work Facebook page, and also the Caldwell County Extension Facebook page.
Well, there's a ton of information on that, too. I love that, even down to how not to submit plant samples. I love that. I thought that was like the best information ever. But it's one of those times a year when there's a lot of challenges. And like you said, if you want a challenge, and it's kind of a rush of emotions because it could be the best day all year long that you've had on the farm and the worst day all in the same day.
Well, if you want a little taste, I've told folks before, if you want a little taste of what agriculture is, plan yourself the perfect garden and see how it works.
Speaking of which, those tomatoes, a lot of people are having trouble getting out in their garden right now with all this rain. And, the gardens are bad about if it gets too much rain. That's when you start seeing some tomatoes rotten and,
that's
some problems.
The case. Talked to somebody earlier this week. Tomatoes do not like wet feet. They do not like the roots to be in wet soil. So this year, the folks that are doing well with tomatoes are either in high tunnels or on raised beds where they can control that moisture better. So that a plethora of diseases related to that, from root rot to our blossom end rot because the plants can't take up the nutrients that they need,
right,
to early blight moving in and late blight and septoria. There's just, when we have moisture in the mix and humidity, it is the perfect storm for diseases. And folks love, your dad comes to mind, and my folks, they love those heirloom variety tomatoes.
Yes, we do.
But those are the first. Those are the first ones that are going to go down in a garden environment from diseases.
Right.
Because they do not have the genetics that some of our newer does. So a lot of the times I will recommend folks have a mix of those. Get those heirlooms out early. The earlier you can do that, the better, because those later season diseases are far harder on those heirloom varieties. And, we do have some chemicals that we can put on, but a home garden, it is hard for a backyard gardener to keep up with the chemical and to spray adequately to control those diseases. It's very, very hard.
Well, to be honest, we found that a lot of those heirloom ones, they do better if you just leave them alone and let God take care of it one way or the other. And we plant more than one variety just in case,
And plant twice the amount you think you need.
Right.
So if you lose a plant here and there and you have them offset, you plant half of them this week, wait 2 or 3 weeks and plant the other half, that you spread that out over the year. That is the best. If we can reduce our chemical applications, that is far better. So just plant twice what you think you need.
Well, in worst case scenario, you have too many and you have to give some to your friends and family. I mean, I'm quite sure they'd be okay with that.
I tell you, vegetable bearers that come in with gifts are very popular people.
I've seen squash a lot so far already. I'm seeing the squash coming out of people's ears. That and cucumbers already.
Yes, that's what's in my garden. It's coming, and it's hard, like you said, with wet soil, it's hard to get in there to get it out right now.
That's where you need those lightweight kids. That's why we have children, so we can send them out there when it's muddy. They don't mind a bit. Well, thank you. We appreciate you, Mr. Shane Bogle.
Well, we're here, 270-365-2787.
And then, of course, you can get anything and everything on their website and social media and even on their front porch. Have you all still got things on your front porch for people to pick up?
There is some family kits still left, and with the seed pack, not the seed packs, but the bingo, nature bingo, and then there is a family fitness summer packet. It's got some frisbees and jump ropes and some games that folks can do in the backyard to have some fun.
Well, and I think those are perfect right now, too, because you've got this week where, maybe you need a fresh recipe or, maybe something for the kids to do with that bingo game. There's all kinds of fun stuff in that you could really utilize over the holiday.
That is right, and they are going fast, and so do not delay if you think that's what you want.
I did have a question I wanted to ask, and I almost forgot all about it. Actually, I didn't have it. A listener had it and wanted me to ask you today. I know we do soil samples. We do plant samples if you're having problems with it out at the Extension office. What about water samples and clean water sampling? Are you all still doing that out there?
The only water that UK samples is for agriculture irrigation.
Okay.
We refer to a professional lab for water testing that they are held to a different standard than agriculture use. So well water testing and things along that, McCoy Labs in Madisonville is one close by that I know a lot of well samples go to. So private labs are the best for that. There's one also in Owensboro that does industrial water and well water sampling. So no, unless it is for irrigation water, university does not test that.
Well, this was for a creek. He just wanted to make sure it was okay for the livestock.
For livestock, now we do for livestock, yes. We can send those for livestock water because that fits into agriculture. And they test for sulfur. It's several different things that they do test for, not for chemicals per se, but heavy metals and things along those lines. So, yes, we can send that off for agriculture use.
Okay, so for people, no. For livestock, yes.
Yes.
Gotcha.
No people, but livestock.
Gotcha.
Or horticulture irrigation.
I just wanted to make sure because he asked and I almost forgot about that. So there you go, Jim, because I did. I just about forgot about it. But I thought, because when he asked me, I was like, I don't know. I thought to ask that. So there you go. That was a great question.
The Division of Regulatory Services out of Lexington is, you may have seen some of their stickers if you've ever bought seed from like grass seed or some kind of crop seed that Regulatory Services does the seed testing for the state of Kentucky to make sure that it's pure, that is how much percent of weed seed is in it and how much percent of that seed is viable that's actually going to sprout when you plant it. So that Division of Regulatory Services does several things. That's our soil testing. That is our fertilizer testing. They also test fertilizer lime, that makes sure that our agriculture lime, what level of relative nutrient value that our lime has, that comes through that division as well. And there's folks all across the state that does that testing that you don't even know. They come through, they've got a state emblem, they come, they take a sample, and they're gone. But those folks keep our seed labels and fertilizer labels accurate.
Well, I'll tell you, between all of it, you are the one-stop shop for agriculture. I'm telling you.
Well, we try to be.
Well, it's really nice to have not everybody does. And we have access to a really nice extension office and places to get those questions and sampling and different things done. And we appreciate you. So the phone number is 365-2787 out at the Caldwell County Extension Office. Mr. Shane Bogle, try to stay dry and keep your canoe handy.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Of course, Shane Bogle in the Caldwell County Extension Office is with us every Wednesday on Coffee Talk, and we always learn a ton of stuff. And there's a lot of fun subjects, but there's a lot of serious stuff too. So if you need sampling or if you need help with something, give them a call and they will help you out. I promise you. 365-2787, or you can pick up one of those kits while they last. I don't know how long they're going to be there. Right there on 62 West. They always go kind of fast. One per family, though. Right there on the front porch at the Caldwell County Extension Office. That phone number again, 365-2787. Hang on. We're going to be talking to Marley Oliver this morning about the Kentucky Mustang Challenge. And I'll tell you, it's such a remarkable program, and I can't wait to learn more about it and meet them as well. So stick with us. We're at Coffee Talk, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
I'm Chancey McIntosh with Farmers Bank, and I'm proud to support the greatest comeback of all time.
Need cash fast? ABC Finance is open with social distancing implementations in place. They believe it's more important now than ever to get a handle on your finances.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
At ABC Finance, we don't just provide loans, but we also provide valuable advice to help you get your credit in better standing.
Our friendly team of professionals has your best interest in mind. We celebrate with you when your finances improve.
We encourage you to like our Facebook page, ABC Finance Company. Many of those useful tips are posted daily on our page, including tons of community info and motivation for the day.
To view social distancing guidelines and safety measures, like and follow ABC Finance Company on Facebook. ABC Finance is located off Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville next to O'Charlie's, then Princeton and the Princeton Plaza. Apply for loans online or simply give them a call. They'll take your application over the phone. ABC Finance, all loans subject to normal credit approval.
Have you been to Big Deal Store yet? Go to WPKYOnline.com and click on Loyal Listener Big Deals. The other day, I redeemed a gift certificate on my smartphone. It was so easy. Thanks to Loyal Listener Big Deals, I found new places to eat, have fun, take the family out, and get my car fixed. With Loyal Listener Big Deals, you can save money and try new businesses. Go to WPKYOnline.com. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
It's time to vote for your favorites in the YourSportsEdge.com Fan Faves, presented by First Financial Bank. Go to YourSportsEdge.com to cast your vote today in over 20 categories. Hurry, voting ends July 12th.
Your home team at Trice Hughes wants to make sure your vehicle lasts as long as possible, especially since warmer weather means more driving. Trice Hughes reminds you that tire pressure is critical to maximizing the performance of your vehicle. From improved fuel mileage to smoother tire wear, make sure your tires are inflated to the correct PSI.
Trice Hughes is here for you and any questions you may have about your vehicle. Buy your next vehicle from the home team. Find them on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or at tricehughes.com.
Have you been to Big Deal Store yet? Go to WPKYOnline.com and click on Loyal Listener Big Deals. The other day, I redeemed a gift certificate on my smartphone. It was so easy. Thanks to Loyal Listener Big Deals, I found new places to eat, have fun, take the family out, and get my car fixed. With Loyal Listener Big Deals, you can save money and try new businesses. Go to WPKYOnline.com. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
The Joint is serving up pulled pork, brisket, jumbo wings, ribs, chicken, and more with all the fixings to go with it from their secret family recipes, all at The Joint in Eddyville.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And, of course, don't forget about our fireworks and all of that good stuff going on this weekend. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And, of course, WPKY has kind of turned up the notch and the volume on just about everything. Of course, not only are we just giving away things left and right this week, but we've also got a lot of things, including a parade starting at 8 o'clock on Saturday. And then, of course, that we're going to follow that at 9 p.m. with our soundtrack. We're actually putting together a unique soundtrack for your 4th of July festivities, or, of course, out at the festivities at the City County Park with Dunk's Tire and Towing. While he's firing those off, we've got the music that you can listen to, the soundtrack that you can listen to as well. Whether, maybe you're not going. Maybe you're going to be in the yard, or maybe you're just staying home for the day. Maybe you're going to be in your car watching them at the City County Park. Well, maybe you're going to be in the boat out at Eddy Creek for Thunder over Eddy Bay. You might be doing that as well. Well, take us with you. I want to go where you go. I want to have some fun with you. So you can take us with you, and you're going to have a really unique experience that I promise you're not going to find anywhere else. This is so cool, and it's so unique, and it's something different that we're doing this year that I'm so excited about. So I'm going to tell you even more details tomorrow. I'm going to leave you hanging just a little bit because it's really cool. But make sure that you join us for 4th of July night. I mean, that's just going to be one for the books, I promise you. And speaking of that, speaking of books, and of course that just makes me hungry because I was thinking about the hot dogs and everything that would be on the grill on 4th of July. I think everybody has hot dogs on 4th of July, don't they? It's just kind of I don't know. Is there a bad time to have a grilled hot dog? 4th of July, 4th of June, 4th of May, maybe the 4th of the month. We'll just call that hot dog day. Just in Princeton, it's going to be hot dog day, the 4th day of every month. Anyway, but when you do that, of course, I think of Kay's Kitchen because I'm hungry, and that's just, I always think of Kay's Kitchen. 501 North Jefferson Street, just a couple of blocks off of the courthouse is Kay's Kitchen. And, of course, she's always got everything you need for lunch. Of course, today is Meatloaf Day. I'm telling you, it ought to be a national holiday, Kay's Meatloaf Day. Everybody goes over there on Wednesdays especially. Fridays, of course, is going to be fish. She's got anything from country fried steak to liver and onions day. I'm telling you, this woman knows how to cook, and she can put a smile on your face and love on a plate like you not believe. 365-2709. You can call ahead, have it ready for you. You can pick it up via the drive-through window, or you can go in, have it hot and ready and waiting on you when you get there, and then you can eat and be able to have a nice hot lunch during your lunch break. You don't have to worry about running late either for work. So there you go. She opens early in the morning, about 5:30 in the morning, and of course she's there all throughout the lunch, and then of course she's there for dinner on Fridays on fish day. So So just make plans to take the family. You will not be disappointed, and everybody can find something that they love. It's not a place where, you can only take one or two of them because you got picky eaters. No. There's something for everybody there. She'll make you an omelet for lunch if that's what you want. Just go and tell her that we sent you, would you? It's Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, right here in Princeton, 365-2709. And, of course, don't forget to tell her that we sent you. And, of course, we want to thank Mr. Shane Bogle today for kind of hanging out with us. And we've got tons of things going on this week. Of course, our Kentucky Mustang Challenge, we were going to be talking about that with Miss Marley Oliver. It's a really neat thing. It's a 100-day challenge that I will tell you can really push you to the limits. I don't know how anybody has got that much patience. I'm telling you, patience of a saint. But it's a wonderful, beautiful thing when you see it, and when you see the success stories. It's just amazing. And this is one from our area that we ought to be awfully, awfully proud of. So we're going to tell you more and more about that, and a horse named Rain. How about that? I actually had a horse named Rain a few years back, and she was just unbelievable. So maybe it's just in the name. You never know. So anyway, be looking forward to that. And then on Friday, boy, have we got a big one for you. We have a kid that's actually going to go play in the All-American game from right here in Princeton. And he's going to be with us on Friday and tell us all about how much fun it is and what, his experiences are and what he's getting out of that, which is really cool. But that's Chase Lantrop, and he's going to be with us on Friday and talk about that. And, of course, we're going to be going over all of the festivities again on Friday so that you don't miss out on anything this weekend with 4th of July, because we were afraid a couple of months ago that we weren't going to have any fireworks or any celebrations, and now we've got one in Fredonia on Friday. You can hit both that one and the one here with Dunk in Princeton on Saturday, or grab your boat, go down to Thunder over Eddy Bay at Eddy Creek Marina, and you can get on the water and do it that way if that's what you want to do. We've got, not only do we have fireworks available, not only are they free, but you got options. That's what I'm saying. And you can do multiple ones throughout the weekend. That is the greatest comeback of all time, and that's because a lot of people went out and supported local during this whole mess. And I know we're not over it, but we are one day closer to being done with COVID-19. So that, every day that we get closer to it, a little bit more of a comeback is what we have. So we're looking forward to that all being done, and I know everybody is. Of course, the Friends of LBL will be with us on Friday as well. They have something called a cleanup challenge. If the kids are looking for something to do, if they're looking for a teaching moment and being able to get out into nature at the same time, and have that little competitive spirit, because we do here in Princeton, that's just what we do, this is going to be a good one for them. You want to make sure that you tune in for that on Coffee Talk on Friday, because that's going to be a good one. And if you're a coffee lover, if you're maybe, I don't know, a Breezy Hill fan, if that whole thing floats your boat, well, you're going to want to hear about Java Table, because they're going to be with us on Friday as well. So a huge show on Friday. There's actually a couple of surprise guests that are going to be with us as well. Friday is just exploding into an enormous show. So stick with us on that one. Of course, Todd Griffin is going to be up tomorrow with the Sideline Report. That's going to be good. This whole thing with football in Tennessee and moving schedules around and who's doing what in what season, that is getting so confusing. But I'll tell you, they're going to be able to line everything out for you. I think I believe I heard him say that Gary Goodacre was going to be with him tomorrow. So tune in for that, because I promise you, those two are going to have some great insight on this high school sport problem and kind of what's going on with football. I'm going to be glued to it. I know that. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss that. That's coming up on Sideline Report with Todd tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And then on Friday, we have kind of the kickoff bonanza to 4th of July. We're giving away all kinds of stuff on Friday's show. Of course, don't forget, we've got those DQ ice cream. You can win ice cream for DQ again tomorrow. If you didn't get it today, you can win tomorrow. Of course, be looking on our Facebook page, because we're going to have a question. All you got to do is even try to answer it, and I pick one of those, and one of those gets free ice cream tomorrow, and they're automatically put in the hat for the big drawing, the big Dairy Queen Bonanza big prize pack for Friday. And then, of course, we'll also ask a question tomorrow morning, the same question, actually, on so that you can call in. And if you have the correct answer, then you're automatically win, and you get free ice cream. So it's a lot of fun. Of course, we got our birthday giveaway on Friday as well. So I'm telling you, we're giving away everything. So tune in. It's a huge thing on Friday. And try to stay dry today. Of course, we've got that flood watch in effect, that flash flood watch until 7 p.m. this evening. Those thunderstorms could be severe. The wind is supposed to pick up around lunchtime. And if I'm looking at the flag right, it looks like it's already picked up. Of course, the clouds are starting to move into downtown Princeton. And so that looks like it may not be that far away. So be careful and try to stay dry. And we'll see you in the morning. Thanks so much. It is 8:59 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The White House says President Trump has now been briefed on intelligence the Russian government offered bounties for the death of American soldiers in Afghanistan.
The Trump administration denies the president was briefed earlier this year, as has been reported. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien told Fox and Friends,
if this information turned out to be true, and now we may never know, but if it turned out to be true, we had options ready to go, and the president was ready to take strong action, as he always is.
Democratic lawmakers are calling for a briefing from intelligence officials.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. The new USMCA, U.S.-Mexico-Canada Trade Agreement, is now in effect, replacing the agreement ratified in 1994. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross tells Fox Business Network,
the former NAFTA treaty was filled with holes, and it caused a big increase in our deficits with our two big trading partners.
America's listening to Fox News.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Summer's here and it's time to get grilling. So let our Ace grilling experts help you choose the right grill for your family from the best brands like Big Green Egg Charcoal Grills, Traeger Wood Pellet Grills, and Weber Gas Grills. And since our stores are locally owned and we're committed to helping our neighbors, we'll also assemble and deliver your grill for free. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their grills. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members through July 13th on grills and accessories $3.99 and up. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
A good listen makes for great company, and Audible is here for you. Whether you want to stay productive, learn something new, or grab some me time, Audible has a title for you. You can listen anytime, while you're cooking, staying fit, or with the whole family on Alexa. From new releases in every genre to motivation, business, languages, and guided wellness and sleep. You set your goals and let Audible help you reach them. Discover why millions of people are listening to Audible every month and find out how to get your first audiobook free at audible.com.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by